Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Chrissy Chaos. Folks, get ready, buckle up. The British invasion continues. Last week, we had the guy you've been asking for. You've been sending messages. Why aren't there more Sri Lankan people on the show? And I delivered. Okay, we had Ramesh Ranganathan on. Now you've said, Chris, what we need is what we want from you. Yeah, what we want from you, what the burning question here in America is, and I'm just going to do it with my last guest, with you, and then next week we have another British guy on. The question is, for every British guest that comes on, is who is Robbie Williams? We don't know. We don't know why he has a movie. We don't know who he is. And we have British sensation, hottie with a body, brand new father, can't believe he's 44. The kid's definitely on Ozempic, looking good, chiseled bone structure. Glasses in the morning.
Go on, keep going.
You know, you guys
You've got me there. I'm so close.
Better than Russell Brand, better than Russell Stover, better than my Uncle Russell. It's Russell Howard, folks.
Hey, ole, how you doing?
That's it.
It's funny, isn't it, Robbie Williams? What's fascinating is because he's massive in the UK.
We don't get it.
But he has a global film where he's played by a monkey.
Yes.
But that's fantastic. It's sort of...
It's amazing.
And imagine how many people told him this is a bad idea.
I would think... Everybody, and the thing is what we asked Ramesh about this too, is it's not that I'm crapping on Robbie Williams. I'm not, we were so blown away when we saw it because we just don't know who he is here.
Yeah.
Maybe some older people know who he is and some real Iron music fans, but he's such a massive celebrity outside of the U.S., and we understand that and we respect that. But here, when they were showing the movie to us, we were like, what is this?
But there's a beautiful arrogance to it, but it'd be a bit like the Golden Girls rocking up and going, we're unicorns.
Yes.
In like Estelle Getty.
Right.
I was trying to think of like Will and Grace. Will and Grace rock up and they're a cheetah and a meerkat.
Just check.
You know.
Yes.
It's sort of yeah.
I like what you're about, dude. I'm digging your energy.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I think we were talking about this because Pat, who opens up the studio, Patty Clips, Fatty Patty, Patty with the fatty, his Staten Island Patty, Patty Lebanon, Patty Butt Cracks.
Do you read your kids bedtime stories?
Yes, I do.
And do they go off on tangents?
Yeah, they go wild.
Yeah,
my kids
like,
are...
Dad, I just want to fucking sleep. I just want to sleep.
Yeah. My kids are begging for NyQuil. and so he was late. But
that should be the advert. It's just you reading it and the kid just looks at the camera and goes, NyQuil. Because he won't, when Daddy won't shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So he was late. So we were talking in the hallway for a while and we got yelled at by the security guard. He told us to shut our freaking mouths.
Yeah.
But he's a veteran of the U.S. Army, so we salute him and we thank him for his service.
Right.
Even though he's war-torn. He's a war-torn guy, and he was just yelling at us. And the thing is, you can't mess with a war veteran his age, because then what's going to happen is he's going to think you're Vietnamese, and he's going to just start shooting.
Right.
And we can't do that.
Yes.
So you just put your head down and you shut up.
How did you know he was a veteran?
Because his hat said U.S. Army veteran.
Right. I see.
Yeah, and I read American English, but you're British English, so it's different. There wasn't a random U in it, so you couldn't read it.
No, that's so interesting. But he looked at us for a second and told us off.
He did.
So you took in everything.
Well,
that was a real New York Minute moment.
It was.
But you kind of like okay.
Yeah.
Because when you said thank you for your service, I thought you were taking the piss out of him because he was just an old man, and I was like, God, he looks like he's ready to go.
I was saluting him, thanking him for his service, and I just know that kind of guy. And we're here all talking about, like, we're talking about comedy and art and whatever. So in his mind, he's like, these 5 girls got to shut up. He thought we were women.
Yeah,
a guy like that thought that you and I were just 2 girls chatting it up in the corner.
And I do look like a German lesbian, so that's fine.
That's actually.
But you look like a man, so you must have been upset.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I don't care. But that is
wow. You got a New York Knicks top on.
I know.
And we were talking about anal sex, not with each other.
In the elevator.
But, yeah. So sure, well, I don't think he thought, maybe he was trying to protect me as a German lesbian.
Yes.
And he was looking in and going, hey,
Yeah.
Leave him alone, leave her alone.
I do see that now. You got what would your German lesbian name be?
I guess Heidi. I look like a Heidi.
You do look like a Heidi.
I kind of look like I'd spend a lot of time on hills.
Yes.
I look like I could yodel.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got that vibe. Yeah.
You do
I don't look English.
No, you don't. Yeah, I wouldn't.
It kind of works in England, but then as soon as I get to America,
right?
John Oliver, John looks English.
He does.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like, he makes sense. He sounds English. He looks English.
You do look like the kind of person that you probably have perfect BMI. Like your body, the way that your body is exactly designed. It's the way that German You know who would want it. This
Yes.
is the look.
Yes.
This is the look for a man and a woman right here. It's what he wanted because I bet your weight, you ready for this? I don't know what it is in stones or kilos, but I'm
Right.
just going to go pounds.
Yeah.
165 pounds Fahrenheit.
I think it's 77 in the one you do, but it's 11 stone in the UK.
What is
so
that?
whatever that is.
So you're 177, you're saying here?
No, I'm 11 stone.
What is
So
11
what's that?
stone? How many pounds is that, John?
While John looks it up, why don't you guess his waist size too? Because you're
Oh, that's
good
good.
at that.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess it in American.
Yeah.
30.
No, 32.
Whoa, fatty.
Yeah, there's a little bit of junk. Yeah. My brother is a 36.
Whoa, oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
That's not
I
that's
believe
like
you
illegal.
call it a badonkadonk.
That is a badonkadonk.
Where it kind of, that shit would come back at you.
Yeah. What do we got?
11 stones is 154 pounds.
Whoa.
There you
Okay,
go.
so I was off.
Okay.
I tried to because I was kind of measuring. You've been in America for a week. You're going to put on 10 pounds when you come here.
Food here is insane. I had, on the way here, I had like a bacon and fried egg sandwich. Unbelievable. I was just sat in the corner moaning.
Yes.
Just,
Ah.
you know when you have a sandwich that good that you're just
Yeah.
like, oh, what are you doing now?
Scone.
Oh,
Yeah,
look at this.
Yeah, you don't have to eat it, but we just wanted, as a gesture, we wanted to get you a
That
British
was
scone.
so American.
Yes.
At the mere mention of food, you were like, we have more food.
yeah. It's up to you. You know, you don't have to. Is it the chocolate banana one?
It is, yeah.
That's it, dude. That's a goodie.
That's not a scone. A scone should be circular. That looks like, you know, the kind of the baddie in Lord of the Rings when it kind of like it's coming out and they
Yeah.
throw the stone and he moves. That's
Yeah.
just- I mean, I'll eat it. Of
We
course.
fucked it up again.
Yeah.
Normally, I'd be afraid to give a guy peanuts, but I feel like they don't have those peanut allergies over there.
They don't. They're like the Chinese. They don't have peanut allergies. British people and Chinese, no peanut allergies. I feel like peanut allergies only American. Is it a big problem in England, the peanut allergies?
We get asked about allergies before every meal, which doesn't really happen here as much.
No, they
But
just.
in the UK, they're like, before we take your order, do you have any allergies? Because I guess people are litigious, but
Right.
I've never been compared to the Chinese before. Do you want to hear an interesting Chinese fact I found out?
Yes.
Do you know the Chinese word for penguin? Do you know what it translates to?
What?
Business goose.
Really?
What a fucking great word that
Hell
is.
yeah.
That's what they call them.
Kids, you want to go to the zoo and see the business
Some
geese?
business geese?
Yeah.
I love it.
Wow. That's very interesting. Yeah, Chinese. The you know, China. Obviously, here the U.S. Our government's setting us up for a war with China. So you know, obviously, for me, if the U.S. government tells me, you know, we have an enemy, then I have to make the people my enemy. I've just recently, over the past, I want to call it 6 months, let go of England being the enemy. Because England was the enemy in 1776, obviously founding fathers. So I just said, you know, I never been given the green light to say the British are on our side, but now I have been officially accepted you as not the enemy. But I still do consider, unfortunately, the people you look like, German lesbians, are still the enemy.
Okay. Yes. Fair enough. Well, you know.
Yeah.
So you like half of me.
Right.
What do you like about England now that you've had 6 months? Let's call it the honeymoon phase.
Honestly, dude, I love. First of all, I love the weather in England. People crap on the English weather. To me, cloudy, overcast, 60-ish degrees. That's what I want because I'm a little cloudy inside. I'm a little bit depressed inside. So what I
Imagine
see,
if weather reports were that deep. Wouldn't that be fantastic?
Yeah.
If the weatherman, like, you know, it's very cloudy, like my soul.
yeah, like my soul. Yes, well, today's cloudy with a chance of suicide. So you know, like you should just do that. So I like to watch your PR agent just really just.
But it must
take
be like,
deep breaths
it
and
must
put
be
her head
like
down.
that in Scandinavia, like because
Yes.
there's no sunlight in their
Yes.
winter, so their weather reports must be so bleak.
I also just
There's
do want
no
to give
sun.
you. I want to open it up to you as well and say you do also look like a Scandinavian woman. That's
Uh-huh.
also the second. So just don't. My point is, don't sell yourself short and just say German because you do look Scandinavian
Yes.
female as well.
Okay, that's very kind of you.
Yeah.
Have you? But let's get back to England. What did you like other than the weather?
I mean, first of all, the history. I'm a big history guy, so I love seeing all the history there, the way the streets are, and I really love the energy of the people there. I know you maybe, you know, being from there, and maybe because I'm a tourist, but everyone does seem so nice there. I don't know if that's what they think, you know, if Londoners think that about themselves, but I personally thought. So nice there. And I also love the idea of nobody really has guns, so the worst that gets happen, I'll get stabbed, punched in the face. I can handle that.
Yeah,
Can't stop a bullet.
Somebody might say a cutting remark.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it.
I know what you mean though. When you take the like I love gigging in Ireland. The energy.
Yes.
You know, there's a brilliant. Have you done Vicar Street in Dublin?
Yes.
wow. I mean,
The best.
it's such an amazing room. But the pressure that Irish people are under the world over to be the happy, fun people,
Yes.
wherever they go.
Right.
But they have their own word for fun,
Yeah.
crack.
Crack.
You know, and it's that thing of, as an English person, whenever you travel, there's always this kind of like, okay, what did your ancestors do?
Right.
Vibe.
Right.
Whereas the Irish just have that kind of, hello, how are you? Let's fucking get going to it, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And there's kind of some of the heckles you'll get. I remember I was talking about sex clubs in Amsterdam, and this Irish girl told me that she'd been thrown out of a sex club in Amsterdam, which is a great start to any story.
Yes.
And I said, so what do you have to do for bouncers in a sex club to go, get her out?
Yeah.
She's lowering the tone. But her answer was the most Irish thing I've ever heard, because she went, there was a lady on stage having a go on herself with a dildo, and I felt inspired. How poetic is that?
It's like James Joyce wrote it.
Oh,
It's
man.
perfect. Yeah.
But that's what you get. The point I'm making, it's like you do comedy in Ireland, and I kind of feel very similar here. That it's a bit more to and fro,
Right.
You know, whereas there's certain, like talking about Scandinavia, you're very much performing at them, and they're listening to you in their second language, which
Right.
is insane.
Right. I also like the people of England when I went felt that they kind of feel like how we're a little out of control right now. This country, we're going wild, we're going through problems, but it's fun. I mean, it's fun. And so, but English people felt like a little bit more like, hey, all these problems you're having, we went through that 200 years ago. Society feels a little bit more kind of together, even though I know you guys have your problems too, but it didn't feel as like just out of control as America feels. It felt like people had their priorities a little bit better. Like not everything was about money. I felt like, am I wrong on that?
I think the big thing I think is anything can happen in America. Like a woman became a millionaire and famous overnight because of the phrase "hawk tour."
Sure.
That couldn't happen in any other part. A girl was on the street and said she liked gobbing on dicks, and America turned her into a millionaire.
Yeah.
That wouldn't happen in England. Like
Right.
if a girl did an interview and said, "Oh yeah, I like quite spitting on dicks," the camera guy would go, "Okay, you obviously didn't mean that. We're not going to put that out there.
Yeah.
We're going to protect you and your family.
Yeah.
Because your life's going to change."
Yeah.
But she became an overnight success.
Yes. Yeah.
She's the One Direction of dick spitting.
Yes, she
It was
is.
just instant.
And that's
I
the
think
name that's the title of the episode. The
But
One
it's-
Direction of Dick Spitting with Russell Howard.
But
You
it's-
know what's been up with her now, right?
What's been up with her?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Listen to this.
So do you know about crypto coin, right? Like
Yeah, no, I saw that. Yeah.
So there was like a hawk coin,
oh, okay.
and it basically
you just couldn't hold on to it. It just kept slipping.
That was the thing. It's like, it's just like
yeah.
it was
It
was
just
like
went into the machines with so ease.
it was like a bait and switch basically,
Right.
And basically all these like middle Americans and all these people all over the country invested like real money into it and lost everything.
But that's what I mean. And I'm not shitting on her in any way. Good luck to her. But that's what I find fascinating about America. It's just so wild,
Right.
that something like that could happen. I just couldn't imagine that becoming as global in any
Right.
other part of the world.
Yeah.
If the Democrats had picked her against Trump, they may have won.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
They would have got our vote. Yeah.
Yeah,
She
that's what I
would-
mean.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Trump would have been talking in the debate, and she would have just, and the nation would have been like, "This is it. This is it."
If America would have picked, if Trump would have picked Hawk 2 as vice president,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
he would have won every single state.
I think you'd probably take over other countries.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
But I don't know. But as far as the money thing, I don't know. Like whether we're less concerned with. I don't know. But also, there's something like I love America and I love coming here.
We love you too.
But I find maybe as a comic, it just because you're just observing things in a slightly different way, and you kind of help. You know, when you take the piss out of something, you have to love it for it to really work.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
But like I felt like, and this may just be very specific comedy, but I thought it was like this was like the English mindset. I remember I was there, and one of the nights in London, I was doing 2 shows, and this could have just been the comic's own point of view, but she was like, "Why are you doing like 2 shows? You sold out the one, right? It would have been great, and then we could, you've made enough money. You could have done a show tomorrow, and we could have just like went out for dinner. But you wanted to cram it all in one night. And I don't understand why." She's like, "We wouldn't really. Not too many people would do that here. Do you find that's true, or she doesn't know what she's talking about?"
Yeah. No. It sounds like she wanted to hang out with you.
Yes.
And But also I'm with you. I like, who doesn't want to do 2 shows?
Right.
It's so much. So I think if you're lucky enough to be able to do 2, then
They'll do it.
Go for a nice breakfast.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's
It's
what I
sort
was
of-
saying.
Yeah, and also the second gig, you're just so much looser, and
Right.
there's something you probably feel that thing if you're doing a gig in London, you can't quite believe that little you is now in, and I feel like that doing that in New York when you
Yeah.
go, holy shit, we just did a gig in New York and people
Yeah.
have come to see me.
I can't believe it.
It
Ever.
just makes it so exciting
Yeah.
in a way that what you kind of get used to
Right.
having a crowd in
But-
your own country.
All right, guys. Finally, we have a company named after my penis, Acorns. Acorns makes it easy for everyone to start saving and investing. In fact, you can get started with just your spare change. Plus, you can earn bonus investments just for buying what you need from brands you love. Small steps today can have a huge impact on your future. From Acorns, mighty oaks do grow. Grow your oak. Let me see that oak. Here's the thing with Acorns, folks. It's awesome, okay? Listen, we all know that New Year's resolutions are hard, okay? Everyone wants to go to the gym more, you want to lose weight, blah, 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 but actually dragging yourself out of bed in the pitch black every morning is a whole other story. But what if you can make your resolutions automatic? Listen to me, make them automatic. Well, they can't help you get to the gym, but Acorns makes it easy to start saving and investing automatically. Here's the thing, dude. Sometimes you want to be on autopilot. And with finances, that's one of them. It's just investing a little bit a day, that's compound wealth, baby. I'm telling you, dude, you don't understand. If you just invest a little bit each day, and if you have it on auto, investment or whatever it is you want, dude, you will, to whatever time frame you want, you'll see how that wealth starts to compound real quick. You don't need to be an expert. Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that fits you and your money goals. You don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you invest with the spare money you've got right now. You can start with just $5 or even just your spare change, baby. Acorns here to help you. Head to the acorns.com/chaos or download the Acorns app to start saving and investing for your future today. Here we go. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Tier 1 compensation provided. Investing involves risk. Acorn Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/chaos. All right, baby? So here we go. Acorns.com/chaos or download the Acorns app to start saving and investing for your future today. Guys, do I love the holidays and the winter? Yes, I do. Because why? I love eating, drinking, and I love being merry to take a toll. I love being merry, but it does start to take a toll on my health. Here's the thing. We're in January right now. All that Christmas eating, all that New Year's eating, it starts to catch up to you right now. So by the time you get here next year, what I want you to do is I want you to try Prolon by El Nutra, because what Prolon does, it's Prolon's 5-day program. It doesn't just give my system a break from sugar, refined grains, alcohol, and other excesses, but if you try it at the start of the year or now here in mid-January, it helps jumpstart your health and sets you up for success all year long. All right, come on. All year long. Woo-hoo. Prolon by El Nutra. Listen. It's difficult for all of us to keep New Year's resolutions. I mean, I want to lose weight. I want to be healthier. I want to be straight, whatever it may be. But Prolon's 5-day program is a total game changer. Prolon provides a clear plan with specific daily meals, making it easy to stay focused and achieve real results. Listen, Prolon is just in time for the new year. Prolon is offering Distefano Presents Chrissy Chaos listeners 15% off their 5-day nutrition program for your post-holiday glow-up when you go to prolonlife.com/chaos. That's prolonlife.com/chaos for 15% off. prolonlife.com/chaos, okay? You better glow up and show up with Prolon by El Nutra. Even what you said, how Hawk-Tuah wouldn't get famous in England, there's still a sense of I don't want to say maturity, but it's there's a lot of, everything is go, go, go here. Everything is how do we get the biggest? How do we get the famous? How do we get the most money? Where I feel like in English society, it's a little bit more, you got to make money and all that, but it's a little bit more, but what is important in life? Have a family, or try, or not, if you not have a family, but not everything is just if you make the most money, then you're the best.
Yes, that's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah. I would agree with that. It's kind of, the big thing is, even if you're successful in the UK, you can still, you'll still be mocked. Whereas it feels like, certain people, you get so big that you can't even take the piss out of them.
No, you'll be on like a movie set with someone who like a A-list celebrity, and like they have to eat first. You can't even talk to them.
Is that right?
And these like, guys who are holding the cameras and the lights, really doing the real work, have to wait, an hour so one of these guys can eat. And I'm like, eventually, one of these guys is going to hit you in the back of the head with a fucking tray.
Yeah.
Good, and you deserve it. But in American society, it's like, you get really rich and powerful, people are like, oh my God, so-and-so's here. I mean, as comics, obviously, we don't care. Like, if any A-list comedian ever tried to come down to the Comedy Cellar and act a certain way, they would get abused. Bad. So the comics don't act like that. But the actors and actresses, very much so. There's very much entitlement.
But that's because there isn't a hang. Like, we have, like, common rooms, don't we, the world over.
Right.
And broadly speaking, you've come up through that, so you know the way you have to behave.
Right.
And it's that if you're an A-list comic, you kind of go into the cellar. Let's say you haven't gigged for a few years or a year, whatever. You're gonna be scared.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Because you're kind of like, can I still fight?
Right.
What weight am I at now?
Yeah.
And you will have a reverence to it, where maybe there isn't sort of a reverence in other art forms, I guess.
Do you want me and you and our families go on vacation to the Cotswolds?
Where's the Cotswolds?
Cotswolds.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Do you want to go?
I've been a couple of. Do you want to hear a fucking weird story?
Yes.
So 3 years ago, we got an Airbnb in the Cotswolds.
Yes.
And we found out 3 days into the holiday that it had been hired by the then Prime Minister during COVID, Boris Johnson, and he lived there for 3 months. And that really soured the Airbnb because you'd sort of like, he looks like he's had many strangle wanks, and and suddenly every part of this previously beautiful house was soiled by, oh God, he's probably been up on that, rutting.
Yeah,
it ruined the
There's
house.
just a random belt hanging from a doorknob. You're like,
well, but and you just kind of, I really loved this place, and then suddenly it was like just sullied.
So,
but this pig. But the poor woman was trying to sell it as, hey, guess what? The Prime Minister. And I was like, and like me, my wife, and her brother-in-law, we were just like,
yeah. This place is covered in jizz.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, all right. So we'll go, but we won't
I'd
go
love
to that
to.
spot.
Yeah, we won't go there.
Vito's gonna come.
But hey, man. But what are you looking for? Have you got kids?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, but he's got gout.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
So he'll flare up on the plane. So we're gonna have to. The thing is, when I come to England to visit you, we're gonna have to go old school. We're gonna go on a fucking boat.
Yeah.
Because Vito's feet will swell up. Like, you can't imagine, dude.
Wow. So are you being serious? You can't. Your gout flares up in the air.
Flares up everywhere.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
Could happen right now.
Don't give him a bite of your scone.
But I won't. But is gout? That's the thing that Henry VIII had, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, I bring it up to all our British guests.
And
that he has gout.
So what happened? Just too much sort of like high fatty food, chopped liver?
I don't know. It's just I don't even. There's no reason. I used to be like 400 pounds, so that's probably part of it.
Yeah.
And then it just anytime I have like too much red meat or too much of like a certain food, it just will flare up, and then my ankle will get really swollen.
Oh,
or the side of my foot.
So it's all the good stuff.
It's all the good stuff. Yeah.
Fuck.
What if you find out though? What if we do the Ancestry.com and you found out you're King Henry VIII descendant?
Oh, I thought you meant if I found out I was actually him, and that was more appealing.
All right, let's go back. Let's take it back then. Edit this part out.
I read a story, and this will really interest you as a gout sufferer.
Yeah.
That when Henry VIII died, they were carrying his coffin, and they kind of stopped off at like a tavern to have like a beer, and they left his coffin outside, and it exploded.
Whoa!
Because of apparently because of the gout. The gout kept on coming.
And that's a confirmed fact.
Well, I read it on the internet, so probably not.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, it depends what side you're on. I was going to say probably, but I'm conspiracy Chrissy.
Yeah, it's funny though, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
Do you because my wife's a doctor, so any kind of health thing.
My wife's a spin instructor.
Right. Oh wow, there you go. So similar things though.
That's 100%.
Lots of
taking
fitness.
care of people.
Fucking right.
That's
exactly.
it, dude.
So does she work for like Peloton or anything like that?
No, she works for Spin FH. Shout out Spin Forest Hills, a little local one.
Oh, nice.
There you go, Austin Street.
Not for long.
Oh, yeah, not for long. We're moving back to Staten Island.
Okay.
But you don't even know where that is. But you're going to come to the house. It's like the Cotswolds of New York.
I've heard that. Yeah. So the
Boris Johnson jerks off all over Staten
Yeah, I
Island.
bet he does. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I need a PJ to Staten Island.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop it on that green pitch. What I was going to say, like, there's so many things going on. That's what I love doing podcasts.
Your
'Cause
wife's
like,
a doctor.
Yeah, but then now I'm interested in the spin thing.
Yes.
Because I got like a Peloton bike.
Yeah.
And the phrase I love is they keep saying, there's a lady called Jess King, and she'll just like be riding her bike and she just goes, I got you. They're like, Peloton keeps saying, I've got you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know.
I love that.
I think if you killed a man, they're not going to help. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It just feels like, I've got you.
I've got you.
You're not an alibi.
Yeah, it's interesting because Peloton was a big thing during the pandemic
Yes.
here, but now people are like, everybody just wants to be out of their house again now here. Like, so Peloton, I think their stocks are going lower, and I think the CEO, didn't the CEO Me Too somebody? Or was that Lululemon? I think Peloton CEO, something happened.
Well,
with
no,
Peloton.
remember Sex in the City? Do you remember what happened with that? Big died after using a Peloton, and then their
Yes.
stocks plummeted.
Right.
Also, a kid died on the treadmill in real life because he like ran on it.
Yeah, it's going down over here. It's going
Be
down
careful,
the tubes.
Russell.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
you got to
take
be
it.
careful.
I'll take it steady.
Just be
But
careful on the Peloton.
I just find it like, but is your wife that kind of woo-woo? Or is she kind of like,
So
ride the bike, you fuck?
Yeah,
Like,
well, so I've tried to take her class once and only once because she's more, they're riding, but then she's also like, handlebar, you're doing push-ups on the handlebars, you're kicking your legs up, and I was just laughing, ripping farts, whatever. So she fully stopped, in front of like 30 people, she's fully stopped the class, and she just said, Chris, get out. Like, just yelled, she said, get out. And then, because she was filming everything, so as I was walking past the camera, I was like, ChristyComedy.com for more dates. I was like, we'll make it viral. And then I got yelled at even more for that.
you did.
She's like, not everything is content.
Yeah, wow.
Like that. But I'm like, come on, we're going to the Cotswolds, baby.
Did you have the spinning shoes on?
Yeah, I did the whole thing. And that,
But,
so
but it must have been impossible to walk out cool. That's my point. Yeah, my comedies. And then you're just kind of
like this.
walking like a Chinese
Look at that woman
princess.
in high heels. Yeah. Look at we're like a German lesbian.
Yeah, man.
We're same.
But no, I would go on, like, do you know, a friend of mine does this thing in Sweden where they go on a boat and I think they do 15 gigs and they just travel with other kind of comics in a boat and then in a port they just rock up, do a show, and it sounds epic.
You going to do it?
I'm going to do some shows with him, but not with the boat. But that idea of kind of being like, because the further you go in stand-up, the less you get to gig with other comics.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And it's sort of that. And then for me, coming to America, whenever I do clubs here, I'll have my notepad out.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem I've noticed is arrogance and shyness look exactly the same.
Wow.
But it's
Yeah,
that thing
true.
of, like, if you're sat there quiet and a little bit shy and you don't want to bother people are clearly looking at me going, look at that fucking arrogant prick with his fucking notes. Or is that all in my head?
Right.
But it feels like it's harder to chat.
Right.
And then you sort of strike up a conversation. And like, if I saw you at a club now, we could hang. Great.
Yeah.
But it's, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's quite hard to break the ice.
It's one of those things too where like you can't win after a while. Like, you go from, in the beginning, not selling any tickets at all, going out there, meeting the fans, everybody's great, whatever. And now I would go out there. I stopped doing the meet and greets because I would go out and do meet and greets with people and have fun or whatever. And then people would sometimes say on Reddit, who does Chris think he is? He's got to fucking come out and like bask in his glory. And I was like, no, I thought I was doing a good thing meeting the fans. But then the comics and the fans like, what are you? So it's like you just can't win ever. So that's why my suggestion is, what about me, you, and Ramesh? You guys are the big stars in the UK. We go over there, me, you, and we just open for Robbie Williams all over the world, except the United States because we don't know who he is.
Yeah. I mean,
What do you think of that? But we make him big here in the US. Me and Vito take that on personally.
Okay.
We pump up Robbie Williams.
yeah, I mean, those gigs would be unbelievable because you would have, stadiums full of menopausal women.
Yes.
And then it would be us doing stand up.
Just us in our 40s just coming out. They don't know who we are.
Yeah, exactly. But then to confuse people, we have to come out as different animals.
Yes. Yeah.
So there's the question. If there's a film being made about your life, what animal are you?
2 words: business goose.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it. What about you?
But again, you haven't thought that through because the thing with the penguin, like, not a graceful animal, and you seem graceful. Like,
Thank
to
you.
my knowledge, Is there any other, like, penguins have always been near the snow. That's
Always.
That's where they've made their home. And yet they slip. They still slip.
It's so stupid, right?
Still, like, in terms of evolution, you're still
Slipping off, yeah.
Where is Darwin there?
Yeah.
But he hasn't given them little kind of,
It's a good point.
morel shoes, little clips.
Yes.
But they still, like, pissed fucking
Fall
old
off.
men just kind of waddling.
Doesn't make any sense to me. What about you? What animal would you be?
I kind of feel like, what would I be? I guess some sort of turtle, I guess.
Is that like what's a British animal? What do you guys have?
A hedgehog. Do you have hedgehogs?
Yeah, we got hedgehogs.
Yeah, I would say that feels very English.
Famous
doesn't it?
hedgehog here.
Yeah, Sonic, baby. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, ours don't look like Sonic. They're kind of like little, we have little.
Sonic the Hedgehog is all Robbie Williams.
This is it.
That's it.
But you have like, do you have like those underpasses?
Sure.
Underneath a road where a hedgehog can just kind of wander along.
Yeah, we got those. Guys, this episode's sponsored by BetterHelp. Thank you to the good people at BetterHelp. Listen, we love you. BetterHelp, if you're thinking about giving therapy a try, why not try BetterHelp? All done online. Okay, that's the thing I love about it the most. Done online. No brick and mortar, so they can keep their costs down. You don't have to wait on the subway or take an Uber or drive to therapy. It happens. Schedule a time right there on your laptop or your phone, all done online. You take a brief questionnaire and they match you with a licensed therapist that they think works for you. And guess what? If you don't feel like it works for you, well, you can change therapists at any time. No questions asked. You want a man, you want a woman, you want anybody, they got you. BetterHelp's thinking about you. Because look, folks, everyone needs to talk, okay? Just because you don't think you have problems, you still might need a therapist to talk to just to get things off your chest. There's a million different reasons why people go to therapy. I mean, because what do you want your 2025 story to be? If you want, if you want it to be a positive one and you want it to be something where you're like, I'm taking care of me, then I would suggest trying BetterHelp. Think of therapy as your editorial partner, helping you write new chapters and create the meaningful story that you deserve to live, babe. Now, right now, you can write your story with BetterHelp. Go to BetterHelp.com/chaos to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/chaos. BetterHelp.com/chaos. Promo code chaos. Get 10% off your first month. And we thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring the episode. But I don't know if we have hedgehogs. We're big with, we got squirrels.
Yeah, we got squirrels.
We got big squirrels. Mm-hmm. We're big with pigeons.
Okay, yeah, we got a lot of pigeons.
Wild pit bulls if you go to the Bronx.
Yep. Do you have XL bullies? We got a lot of those in the UK.
XL bullies we got.
But they're now illegal.
Right.
Which makes obvious sense.
Get them out of there. And
it's fucking wild. Why would you have, I've got a dog, but my rule, as I've said to my wife, I would never have an animal in my house that I couldn't kill with my bare hands.
Good call.
Totally.
Yes.
Like, every dog we've had two, I love them, but if push came to shove, I could kill them.
I'll kill you. I'll strangle you right now, no problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But if it was an XL bully, like,
you're done.
He could kill me and then fuck my corpse.
Right.
Why would I possibly leave that to chance?
Then next thing you
know, it doesn't matter what you do in your career. If somebody films that, your dead body getting nailed.
I'm not gonna have an XL bully. Next thing you know, he kills me, fucks my corpse, and then he marries my wife, and then now he's raising my family. I can't have that.
Chris, can you describe an XL bully?
An XL bully?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't honestly know what you're talking about.
Okay.
But I'm going to I thought an XL bully was just a big, like a guy Vito's size that's just a piece of shit giving people atomic wedgies. But now I'm starting to realize that I think you're talking about a pit bull or some kind of dog. Okay, yeah, so I didn't understand what we were talking about, but I was just going for it.
You thought I had a bully on a lead in my house?
I wasn't sure. I was like, yo, the English are crazy, and that's why I love them.
No, yeah, we... God, I love your brain, man.
Thank you.
You ran with that so quickly.
I'm always on. I got your back, dude. I told you that. I'm all for the British now. No longer my enemy.
Yeah.
I'm on your side.
I'm enjoying this conversation.
This is great, dude.
So, pit bulls are actually like a big point of like content here, where there's like a big battle between people who love pit bulls and say they're perfectly safe animals, and people who are like, that dog can kill you.
Yes. That's definitely the same in the UK. It's kind of like there's a story almost weekly about, one of these animals killing like a kid or somebody. And it's like, it's all how you raise them. And you're like, well, I see the people that have them and they look like they're reading the Bible backwards to them. Do you know what I mean? They don't look like that. It doesn't look like, no, I just read him stories and he's very gentle. They they give me the fear.
That also sounds like the migrant situation here.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yes.
That got dark.
That's
quick.
hey,
Wow.
listen. The thing is here. I hear you're coming at such a fun time
Right.
in America. For half the country's on fire.
Yes.
And now we got Trump is coming in, so the things are changing. It's
Trump's coming in. He's breaking into your press.
He's
I
breaking-
fucking love that.
Dude, he's going to come in, and it's just going to be. Here's what I really know is going to happen. The next 4 years is just going to be fun.
Yes.
We're gonna. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know if it's going to go off the rails, but I think people are saying, "Oh, America's going down." I'm telling you, dude. These next 4 years, I don't know what's going to happen after 2028, but I can tell you, from 24 to 27 and a half, it's going to be wild fun times here.
Yeah.
And I think that you're going to want to come over here. I think you're going to want to bring your family. It's going to be a big party.
I know it's weird, isn't it? It's like, but like the role of Elon Musk is so fascinating. To
Yes.
kind of everyone the world over. It's like, he's retweeting Tommy Robinson. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, he's a big. I mean, look, dude.
We had some riots in the UK, and Elon Musk tweeted. Let me remember. That's what he went. Civil war is inevitable, and it made it sound like everybody was rioting. But this was during the Olympics. The specific day that he said that was the day that bloke caught his cock on the pole vault.
Yes.
That's what my country, and I'm sure your country,
Sure.
was doing. We weren't rioting. The entire world was laughing at a man whose dream was smashed by his own penis.
By his penis, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. It's like, with someone like Musk, given his wild intelligence, he doesn't seem to be able to do any research or put things into context where you're retweeting Tommy Robinson. He's a small fry football hooligan. It's kind of weird.
Now, did the guy who got his penis caught on the pole vault thing, did he get famous in England? Was that like a hawk tour for you guys?
Well, I think he was he French? I think he was French.
Oh,
but
so
he was
the enemy.
He was the enemy, but you couldn't help but be envious of the enemy. Yeah, it was just one of those moments. But the point I'm making, most people weren't rioting. They were dads all over England going, "That would have been me."
Yeah.
I probably would have hit the commentator in the studio. But it was the fact that Elon Musk was just able with one click to imply that we were going to be at civil war.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It's sort of that fascinating thing that I think that's what's going to be weird the next 4 years. It's how things can be so rapid, based on someone's opinion.
But do you guys still love America the way you used to, or are you not loving it as much?
I think everyone grows up on Americana.
Right.
And to be honest, it's sort of like, I remember I did a travel show with my mum and we travelled around the States, and it was before...
That's awesome.
It was fun, and it was before Trump got in the first time. And it is that thing where you kind of, if you go to like South Bend or you go to North Carolina, you go to these places, the concept of making this place great again is a pretty good sell.
Yes.
Because so much of it feels kind of broken and decaying, and it feels like some people have everything. I mean, I saw a homeless man outside a hotel for dogs, and that is America.
Yes.
This man has no home, and the dog's on holiday. You know what I mean? And it was, it's just those discrepancies. You kind of understand why somebody would like. I love the idea of making this country great again, and yet it's through this weird
thing.
It's the very fact that those people believe that Trump is their guy.
Right.
That's what's so sad.
That's like Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. He's getting a lot of heat right now because obviously these LA wildfires are going nuts. And they said he drained one of the reservoirs to save this rare fish like 6 months ago. And then there was no water in the fire hydrants to put out the fire. So you saved the fish, but then everyone's house burned down. So it's like, this mentality, it's kind of like the homeless guy outside the hotel for dogs where you're just
Where's the fish now? The guilt he must feel.
Unbelievable. Dude, they're people are eating them. They're cooking up.
Fucking right.
No one's got anything else. A fish kebab.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Russell, I got a question for you because you said you were traveling around in 2015, right?
Yes.
Would that have been around the Brexit election?
Yeah.
So there was a big thing where a lot of people in America thought that the Trump campaign was very similar to the Brexit campaign.
Yes.
Of like kind of blaming like the rich and like saying like, oh, like rural people like need more rights. Like, did you see that while traveling? Like, could you see that comparison?
Well, what I noticed in 2015, the thing I remember is the only signs that we saw were for Trump and for Bernie, and there were no signs for Hillary Clinton. And yet, the whole idea in the press was like, well, she's going to win. It was this, and it's very similar to Brexit. It's the kind of just the naivety to think that you will just wander into power. And with Brexit, they didn't have a message. Like they basically, people who wanted to stay in the European Union were like, well, it's kind of it's better than versus we need to get out, and it was just all these like they're affecting our bananas, they're changing bananas. We've got and it was like stay away Brussels, and just this whole
stay away Brussels.
Yeah,
that's
totally.
a T-shirt.
But they were just trying to just deregulate the markets,
Right?
So that you could make a fast buck. But it's. Yeah, there was massive similarities, but again, it's sort of I often think for all the mocking of the right, what right wing politicians do have is a confidence to go. That's what I think. If you got a liberal who shot his or her mouth off and stood behind it, that you couldn't fuck with that, but you never get that.
No.
Do you know what I mean? You go, well, you can see it from different points of view, and
yeah, because the problem is even the statement you just made. You said, oh, if you got a liberal to shot their mouth off, he or her, and they would have been like, or they.
Yeah.
They would have said that.
Yeah.
Well, what really meant also inclusive of they, which we are inclusive, but it's like, that's not the point. Fuck.
Yeah.
We're just trying to fucking say something here. But I get it. I understand what you mean. But
do you know what I mean? Like a shit kicking lefty.
Yes.
That was just like, that's what I think. You know, if you don't agree with me, fuck you.
Fuck you. Yeah.
But that hasn't been tried. And
No.
I kind of feel like that's the next.
Someone's going to do it.
I just think that's the only way.
What should it be? Me and you? Should we represent the left on the next election?
But I have that a lot. People like say, "Oh, you should get into politics." Why would you possibly,
dude,
give up your life to do that? That's the thing as well. It only attracts fucking maniacs.
I couldn't imagine ever because, dude, even for you to win, the thing is, for even the winners, they're going to tear apart your entire life. Can you get the ice a little louder into the mic? We just need more ice in the background. They're going to tear apart your entire life. And rip apart every secret you've ever had, and that's to win. If you lose, same thing can happen, and then you lose.
So, that's nothing. Imagine that.
I'm like, so why even do that? Like, I don't. But I guess it's all power, right? I mean, you can't get elected without. The thing is, it doesn't make sense. Like, you can't be for the people. The whole idea of running for office is you're telling me you're not for the people. You're about you. So there's no other way to get elected. So if anytime I hear anybody saying, I want to be president, you're out for me mentally. Because I'm like, well, then you're going to be an egomaniac nut job.
Yeah, I interviewed Bernie Sanders, and it was that he had such an interesting energy. As you meet these people every so often where you just go, God, I really
Jews?
I really like this guy, and I find him, but I also know that he doesn't want to be the leader, and that's what makes him compelling.
Yes,
yeah.
I mean? He's kind of like begrudgingly, like, I guess I got to do this.
Yeah, because there's nothing else he wants to do.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I think Bernie could have been the one who may have had a chance because he has enough support. But to be honest, dude, we've all known this here for nobody was going to beat Trump this time because of how bad, even if it's not reality, the perception. See, the main thing that changed here is, obviously, 2015, 2016, if you asked a, 18-year-old kid, who are you going to vote for? They would never want to publicly say, I would never vote for Trump, even if
that's a good point. Yeah.
Where now the kids, the 18-year-old kids, or these past few months, I have a 18-year-old nephew. I was like, I just fucking around with him. I was like, how's you can't wait to vote for Biden, right? He was like, well, I'm not gay. That's what he said. So that was his immediate response. So the perception changed where it's like, what am I, gay? I'm going to vote Democrat.
Right.
So it was like, and so once I heard that, I was like, oh, Trump's going to win by millions of votes, and he did.
Yeah.
Because the whole perception changed. Where the reality is irrelevant. The perception was Democrats are weak and gay, and Republicans are strong and not as gay.
Yeah.
That's just what it was. Like Vito's a big Democrat, but he's like openly gay.
Yeah.
Or openly has gout, I should say.
It's the beginning of it. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's where it starts.
Fuck, it's so interesting.
My soft liberal genes can't take red meat.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the problem is I don't know if you've ever sort of dallied with being a vegan. Fuck, it's so funny.
Right.
Because I don't know if it's the same over here, but they overcompensate. They have to try and make it sound edgy and dangerous.
Yes.
So it's like dirty burger, filthy,
Yeah.
naughty vegan
Bad burger.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
on a bad bitch burrito. Like it's just like,
Good point.
but it's so
Yeah.
it's full of nutrition and goodness.
Yeah.
It's like Bublé having an album called Pussy Shredder. It's like,
Is that the name of the episode? Pussy Shredder with Russell Howard? Yeah.
I always feel for Bublé at Christmas. It must be a hard time
Yeah.
because he just knows. Here we go again.
Yeah.
Jingle bells.
Yeah,
like he must hate jingle bells,
Dude, but I'll tell you what, I met Michael Bublé. You ever met him? Do you know him?
Nice guy.
I met him once at Sirius XM. He was, I think he must have been doing Howard Stern or whatever, and I was doing...
Was it November? He was about to push.
You're bad, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's just a few years ago, and I meet him, and he's taking pictures with people, and people are going, oh, Sinatra, do the Sinatra, and he's actually like doing it. He's like, doing a na like as he's taking pictures, whatever. And then some guy, I don't know what some guy said, but some guy said something like, kind of like make it fun, like, oh, my wife loves you, or something like emasculating to him. And he just literally stops. He goes, hey, listen to me. He goes, I'm a hockey player from Canada. I'll punch your head right off your fucking neck. And then goes back to go, do jingle bells.
Oh, I love that.
It was like wild.
I think that's why people like Adele so much.
Yeah.
Because it's sort of like,
Yeah.
never mind. Fuck off, you cunt. I'll fucking cut you.
Yeah.
Find someone
I
like...
love it.
Yeah.
When I saw Michael Bublé, I witnessed it first, and I was like, "This is my guy." I am a big Bublé fan. I love Bublé. I love the albums. I'm like, Michael Bublé in the 1975. I don't know if you know the band, the 1975.
I do know the
massive there at the UK, right?
All
and
we seem to do is talk about sex.
sex. Yes.
My boyfriend anyway.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're amazing in 1975. They write a good song, and then they write fucking...
Yeah.
Girls, have you heard that song, Girls?
Love It All, dude. Are you
It's
kidding
the
me?
worst. That Girls song is the worst
You don't
song.
like that one?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I love it if we made it. Absolute genius, but Girls! It's just...
Yeah.
How did that make it?
That's what I love about him, though. He's just unpredictable.
He is incredibly unpredictable, yeah.
Matty Healy's the man. I love that guy.
Yeah.
Do you know him?
I don't know him, but I know what you mean. It's sort of that thing of the older you get, there's no kind of shame in saying, yeah, I like pop acts.
Dude, I said it
Do you
on...
know, I love Paolo Nutini. I think he's fucking brilliant.
Who the hell is that?
Exactly.
Yes.
He's a Scottish crooner.
Okay.
But he's a really sort of good-looking fella.
Yeah.
And could have been like a massive star, but just
Dude,
sort of has his own path. Really
I'm 100% at a point in my life. Got 3 kids, 40 years old, engaged recently.
Where did you propose?
And in my house, 7 o'clock in the morning before we took the kids to school. Actually, just this past Monday.
Wow.
Yeah, I just fucking ripped it.
Had you got up early?
Yeah. Well, we get up early to take the kids to school.
Okay.
So
But what, were you in pajamas? What were we dealing with?
I wasn't. So the thing that, the point of contention, the problem at home now is she, I had my stepson filming everything, filming this beautiful moment, and she was 7 a.m. in her pajamas, cooking breakfast, hair up, did not feel presentable, and I fucking slicked my hair back.
Yeah.
I was looking like $1 million because I'm like, I'm going to be on video. And so what I didn't tell her.
Naivety.
Yeah. So it was just made, and then I also, plugged my dates on the end of the video. You got to sell tickets in Cleveland.
Of course.
So she understands. How did I pay for the ring? So but it was beautiful because we actually did it a little backwards, where she had a child from a previous relationship when I met her, and then we have 2 kids of our own, so 2 biological females. So we have 3 kids, and we've been together 10 years, and we just never got engaged. We were just like whatever. So now we have it's cool for us because we're like, oh, most kids will only ever hear about their parents' marriage, but our kids will actually be a part of it.
Yeah.
In some way. So we're pretty cool. And I'm using that. I'm trying to say that publicly as much as I can because, most people are like, I can't believe you waited 10 years to marry the mother of your children, you fucking scumbag. But I'm like, no, I had a plan.
She's got indoor bikes to ride.
Yes.
You got gigs to do. I kind of get it. Like, I was with my girlfriend for a long time before we got married.
Right.
I proposed in Japan.
Nice.
Pretty cool. And she said yes. And then I had to go to do some filming because I was doing a sumo wrestling match with
You?
Me.
You look like food for sumo wrestlers.
Yeah. So this guy, I kind of got dressed in the sumo gear and kind of Yeah, it was.
Wait, you proposed to her in the sumo gear?
No, that was. She said yes, and I went, great. I got to go. And
Oh, yeah.
Put
Run
my
away.
stuff on, and took an absolute beating.
I was gonna say, then within 20 minutes, then just your bare ass is out in a
It was.
thong,
Yeah,
rolling
yeah,
around.
all that.
Yeah.
And it was part of this show that I was doing with my mum, and I've just lost. And my mum is just like flicking a tit of mine, just like she was like, I was really. Just like a cat.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I was really disappointed with the way you performed. And
Yeah.
I was like, can you stop flicking my tit, Mum?
please.
So it was an unusual day. But the wedding is the best day of your life because honestly, it's so great because you're just surrounded by love and everyone that you love is there.
Right.
And they love you. And it's this, it's honestly,
Well,
it's the best.
and
And your kids are going to be there.
Well, that's the thing. My 9-year-old, she's really,
Oh,
my
can you
14-year-old.
imagine a 9-year-old
Yeah, she loves.
helping her mum organise a wedding?
Well, it's more
Wow.
than that. Because my fiance was like, listen, she was with the girl. She was like, look, I'm not going to wear a white wedding dress. We have 3 kids. It's just we're going to have like a simple party. Like, we'll do it in City Hall. We'll just get it legally done. But like, and then my daughter was like, well, then can I wear the white wedding dress? Like, so my we're kind of like, yeah, let her also walk down the aisle if that's what she wants.
Great.
Let her do it because it's anything goes kind of wedding. Nothing has to be traditional because our relationship wasn't traditional. So we're gonna let her walk down the aisle and whatever the hell she wants. We're gonna have just make it fun. My little one will be the flower girl. My stepson can, he was like, he can walk his mom down the aisle, not because her father passed away. So he's like, maybe he'll do it. Maybe we'll all wear
great.
fucking shorts. I don't know. Maybe we'll do it in Japan. I don't know.
Are you doing you call it a bachelor party, aren't you?
Yeah.
What are you doing for that?
Whatever Vito wants to do, dude. Knowing Vito will probably go to Applebee's.
Not with that menu. You're going to flip her up.
Dude, I don't know, dude. What should we do for the batch party? Actually, that's a good question. I didn't even think of that. until Russell brought it up.
I went to Vegas.
You did?
And it was wonderful. It's like going to the zoo.
Yeah.
I
It's
went
terrific.
to Italy for mine.
Oh, there you go. What? So your stag do was in Italy?
Yeah, so John came with me. We
Amazing.
went to Rome to start, and then we went to this island Ischia for like 4 days,
Right.
and then back to Rome on the other side.
And are you the best man? Okay, well that's
Chris's wedding.
No. Here, who's your best man?
Oh, my best. You know what? I haven't even thought about any of it yet. I don't know. I mean, hopefully, honestly, what I'm hoping for after this podcast is it Robbie Williams.
Yeah.
I would love for him to be it.
Robbie or the monkey version?
Yes,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
the chimp. I'll take either
Well,
or.
you take a chimp, but everyone's like, "Is that Robbie?" It could be.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
I walk down with the business goose.
Yeah.
I don't know who the best man would be.
Is it going to be an original Queens guy, or is it going to be a comic?
Yeah, I
Yes,
kind
it-
of feel bad for asking because I assumed he had the answer, and now
Yeah, I know.
he's publicly, all his friends are like waiting for that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because here's the thing. My best friend from home, he's already my oldest daughter's godfather.
Right.
Then my youngest daughter's godfather is trans person, so I don't know if they would be a best man or a maid of honor. I'd have to ask them. And that's the truth. I'm not even fucking around. So I don't know what side they want to be on. So honestly, what I would actually do, I would actually consider, if he wanted to, I would have my stepson be the best man. Why not?
Oh, yeah.
Let him, he would love to. He's going to be on his phone fucking
Didn't you
around
say He
anyway.
was going to walk her down the aisle, though.
Yeah, but he could also be my best man. There's no rules, Vito.
All right, you can have 2 best men.
You can.
That's true.
The problem with that, though, if you have 2 best men, then you've got an opener and a closer, and it particularly if you get another comic, and then you have that
Right.
14-year-old boy follow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
a hard gig, man.
That's true, yeah. And then I kind of position them like who has more followers. Right. Well, can I make him my dad?
Yeah, man.
Then I'll do my dad. That's the easy one. My dad's the best man.
I remember when my sister got married, my dad wrote his speech and then he went, "Oh, do you want to have a look at it just before I do it?" Honestly, I've never had to put a red pen through as many things.
Yeah,
It's
just-
like I don't know if that's Dad. Come on, you can't be.
You
like
can't say that.
it was.
Yeah.
It was pretty full on.
I think
he had a great line in it.
What do you say?
That I really liked, but it died hard.
Yeah.
And I gave him a bit of advice. I was like, I really like that joke, but you got to commit. The only way if
Yeah.
you're going to get that over the line is commit. And my God, he did. And it made it even worse because but the line was, he went, "The wedding's been difficult to organise." And, and he went, "And I've done a lot." And everyone was kind of laughing because they knew he'd done nothing. And he went, "I'd like to thank Ninette," which is my mum, and Angela, which was the mother-in-law. And then he went, "Hey, even Santa needs his elves, and I kind of liked it. I just thought, but he really
And
went,
it bombed.
bombed hard because he just went, hey. Like that, it was like, and I said, go big, but not like, even Santa needs his elves, and he fucking, like, he properly straight down the camera. Fuck, it went
And were
hard.
you dying laughing?
Oh, I loved it, but because it was like, it was full like Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Fucking bang, it just stiffed.
Oh,
Yeah, but I'm
That's
envious
great.
of you though.
Yeah.
They're special days weddings. You just realise how fortunate you are to know your friends and family. Everyone shows up for you. The fucking energy of it. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And you know what, dude? I also kind of feel very I've had like almost no anxiety this week because you're like, you know what, dude? Now it's like you don't have to worry about shit. Things are secure. You lock everything down, and it's like I got to the point mentally where I was like, I want peace. I was always like, subconsciously chasing chaos. Like, I don't want to be married. I don't want to be locked down. We got kids, and I want to do this and that and whatever, and we don't need to be married. But then I was like, you're an idiot, dude. The peace is in the marriage. People, it's very easy for old guys, better fucking get, you better get a prenup and fucking marry now. It's like, shut up, asshole. Shut up, Bill. It's like, yes, I will, just stop being a dick. It's like, I don't know what you want me to, I feel at peace doing this now because I'm like, at least I could just now focus on my family, focus on my career, and, and then take these next 10 years. And then at 50, because I've said this publicly many times, and she knows this, she's aware, marriage and me, as I've said, I just want to try it. I'm going to go the first 50 years of my life straight and the last 50 gay. So she can stay with me.
So we got a decade.
We got it. That's what I said. So we got 10 years of straight fun. And then at 50, August 26th,
in the middle of the summer.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. I'm just going to go. You guys say the 26th of August. That's a little different thing about you.
Sure. Yeah.
But I'm going to go. I'm going to go full gay. And you might be my first call. It's possible.
Okay. Do you have okay. So when did you tell your wife this? What made you choose? Like, what do you seek to get from this gay phase of your
Going
life?
the last 50 gay? Just because I feel like you only get one spin on this planet, so you might as well just try it all.
Sure.
Get different experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why not have a year being gay and then pop back? Why not just mix it up?
Because I do think I'm genuinely a gay man.
You got to go, but not until you're 50.
Right, but I know it's in there.
When presumably gravity's taken an effect.
Exactly.
And there's probably a time where you're kind of, but your balls are going to be hanging down.
Right.
You're just going to look like a cat's toy from behind.
Unless I get on performance enhancing drugs, my triceps are only going to be pushed down this gay for another 10 years, and then it's just going to overcome me.
Wow, man.
So yeah, I got to get in shape like you. I got to get, I got to get the BMI down.
Right.
But so that's.
Do you worry about that? Because it's funny that you hit on that, but my dad's obsessed with kind of fitness,
right?
And his mum died when he was young. So that's kind of always been this sort of weird thing of like you have to be fit and healthy, and like I definitely have that. And now having an 8-month-old son, you suddenly go, oh God, fuck, I'm 44. So when he's 20, I'll be 64. And I'm thinking about do you have like the dad's race at school, like the PE in PE?
Yep.
So I just kind of 10 years ago, if I had a kid, I could easily win that. But now I'm going to be, I can't lose. I can't see my son.
Yeah. I mean, you could definitely be an 8-month-old.
But I don't want to be kind of with the Zimmer frame.
I think that what you see, for me, all exercise, I mean, I eat too many scones. I definitely got high cholesterol, and I like just eating pasta and getting crazy. But I always do typically try to work out hard. I try to hit the zone 2 cardio, and get crazy, because for me, it's all about, more into the mic, thank you. That's it. And it's dry. So I think about since I've been a dad a long time now, is for me the goal is now not vanity anymore. It's not. I mean, I'd love to have abs and look ripped, but I mean my nipples go like this. It's what it is. I got a little bit of flab. I have a big belly button. It's just I'm very not proportionate at all. I got big shoulders, but then my breasts. I've always had fat nipples. It's just who I am. It's what I've accepted about who I am.
I have one nipple that's bigger than the other.
So do I.
And it was that can you remember being 14 that you just one of them just popped out?
Yep.
And the other just was
Yeah.
was like very nervous.
Yeah, mine like
just stayed.
Right.
So it was this weird thing that I'd sort of, if I was at a swimming pool, I'd approach girls sideways on like a crab. Just for fear that suddenly like, but
Did it even out now?
No, it's sort of like you don't really know, but
Right.
it is that funny thing, isn't
But
it?
you
Like,
know.
I know, and it's that weird thing that when you're 14, you just suddenly go, like any imperfection
Sure.
was terrifying, and this was before the age of phones.
Right.
Can you imagine what it must be like to have any flaw?
It's horrible.
God damn, it
But-
must be so hard for kids. Eh?
So I think what happens though is when you become a parent, for me now, all of my exercise is just for the goal of I want to be able to run around and play with my kids.
Totally.
Like if I'm like it used to be, you know, if I was when my babies were little, before I've like, you know, just had some more time being their dad, if I was doing like my push-ups, my sit-ups, and you know, in the living room, say, because they didn't have time to go to the gym, they would be like, Daddy, play with me or whatever. Like, hold on, let me just get this done. But now I just incorporate them into the workout.
Oh,
so
wow.
now I just use them as weights, or because I'm like, this is actually what I'm doing. If I'm not an Olympic athlete, I got fucking, my tits are insane.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
You don't pole vault with them though.
no.
Thank fuck.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's sick. Just imagine just bouncing off my nipples. So that's why I think I exercise now, and that's what I think you'll see as your baby gets older. I mean, you're already a fit guy, or a German woman, whatever you want to go with. Sure. But you are. I think like it all becomes about the children, where you're just like, I'm doing this so I can just play with them and stay around for them. Even my father's lost 100 pounds over the last, you know, year or two, and obviously he's not, you know, I'm 40 years old, so I'm not getting on his back and be like, Dad, do push-ups with me. it's more like he's like, I want to be around for you and to see things in your life, so that's why now I'm taking care of myself. So everything becomes motivated through your children.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, and just this, like, there's a like Peter Attia that.
Oh, I love him.
He's great, but the only thing is, it's like just explain it. Just a little bit simpler.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're intelligent. Of course you're intelligent, but you don't have to.
Right.
He loves slinging in a word.
Yeah.
That you're like, well, now I have to go to the fucking dictionary to understand what you're on about.
Well, he's the one actually, because I lost a bunch of weight.
But the gist of his thing is, as you say, is just kind of like, you just want to be you for as long as possible and then die. Right. Without that kind of 10 years of like, he's dying now, isn't he?
Yeah.
And just slowly kind of...
Well, he was the one, because I started intermittent fasting because of him. He's got the Zero Fasting app. He's on it. So like that's like changed everything about the way I eat and whatever. But he was the one that said the biggest longevity, the biggest...
Exercise.
Marker. Exercise, but specifically your VO2 max and your grip strength.
Yeah.
So I went to a center and like made sure I was like, my VO2 max was good and my grip strength was good, and I was like, so then Peter T says I'm gonna just live, baby. It's gonna live forever. You could shoot me, I'll jump in front of a fucking bus right now. The VO2 max is beautiful.
How long could you hang for?
I can hang for like 90 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah, which that was another big thing, hanging, but I worked up to that. At first I was like 45 seconds, but yeah.
That's what they needed for the star of the Robbie Williams film as well, with them apes.
It
was just all about hang time.
Just hang time.
You could have played that role.
I could have. And
you could hang. You've got good stamina.
And and there's no way you can get me to you don't know Robbie Williams personally.
Well, I don't know him personally, but I did play in a celebrity football game at the West Ham Stadium where you went to watch baseball.
Yes.
So I played, and he was the manager of one of the teams. And my wife is a doctor, and she was doing some research into trying to make old people defecate. And it turns out prunes, basically, if our health service spent money giving old people prunes, that would save a lot of money as opposed to medicine. And I don't know, I'd spoken about this, and so I'm warming up in a stadium full of 50,000 people. It's on TV, there's millions of people watching, and I'm doing the kind of, pre-football moves, trying to do all that. And Robbie Williams, who is this, huge star everywhere but America, just kind of goes, so I understand your wife's doing some stuff with prunes. And it was the most surreal moment of my life. Yeah, well, apparently it's just a lot better than just wasting money on medicine, because turns out there's a natural way of making old people poo. Bizarre moment. And all my mates at home, I looked later on my WhatsApp group going, what the fuck is Russell and Robbie talking about? And we were having a chat about my wife's
and it was
kind of
broadcast
research
to the whole country.
Yeah, and then
beautiful.
there was a penalty shootout right at the death. And it's my wife calling now. There was a penalty shootout right at the death, and I missed the penalty.
Do you want to pick it up and we'll tell her about Coswaltz?
No, but
Okay,
I will
all right.
have to.
Well, maybe we'll ask Robbie to come too. Maybe Robbie can join
Mate,
the trip to the Cotswolds.
Honestly, if Robbie Williams will have a place in the UK that will be absolutely insane.
Yes.
So I mean, I think Europe as well. He's massive. He's massive in Australia. It's just, but it's that thing, isn't it? Like America. It's like Seinfeld never really made it in the UK.
He was saying that last week, and
Yeah.
we literally, me and John were taking turns punching him in the stomach.
Yeah.
Because we were like, "There's no way that's true." But you just said it.
Mm-hmm.
Seinfeld is not big in the UK.
No.
Would people know him? Like if he was on the tube, say, would people be like, "That's not Jerry Seinfeld"?
You'd sort of respect him, and you cast that. Yeah, you. So we know that he's like. Obviously, I know who he is. I know
Sure.
he's a great stand-up. But that sitcom, like more people watch Curb than they did Seinfeld. Seinfeld just wasn't a thing.
So Larry David would be way more famous in the streets, probably.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's sort of. It's just so fun. But then we have a show called Only Fools and Horses. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's the biggest comedy sitcom in the UK ever.
Happening
Massive.
right now, or it's ended already?
Years ago.
Right.
But it was just a staple. Do you know what I mean? And it's so funny because like very often I'll get people coming to me going, "Oh my God, I love Monty Python." Never on TV in the UK.
It was only big here.
It was not when I was a kid, but it was. Do you know what I mean? Like in the
Interesting.
70s, it was on TV, but we only had 4 channels, and then it wasn't going to be on again.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like, but I feel like now that with YouTube, the world is just a wee bit smaller.
Yeah.
That
Well, that's why you're doing mostly podcast stuff now, because TV is not what it was anymore, right?
on YouTube and clips, and that's the fascinating thing about what we do is that like we love putting a special together. The thing about putting a show together, I kind of love it. You know, when it's got like muscular and meaty, and you're like
Yes.
fucking. You know, it's just
Grinder.
But you're bang back, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about you when you're 51. But
Yes.
but it's that thing of the world doesn't necessarily want that. They just want everything cut down.
Yes.
Which is kind of fine.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of how comics work up gear anyway.
But you'll still make it the way you want to make it, and then whenever, cut it up. Because I feel like I understand what you mean about the meat of it all.
Yeah, but it's that thing of when you've got like I'm so envious of American comics because the infrastructure you have for stand-up in this country is still like this city. It's like if I was a New York native, it's just the idea that you can just rock up. I'm lucky in the UK. There's a comedy club called Top Secret,
Yeah, love
which
it.
is a brilliant club.
Yeah.
Exactly, that you can go there. You can do 3 shows, right? Of doing 20 minutes. You know, piece of paper, idea, go there, do that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You've kind of done 9 gigs. The bit is beginning to kind of percolate, become something. You could do 9 gigs in a day here,
Easily.
and that's the majesty of the infrastructure of New York. That you're like, you get an idea on the Monday. By the time you're on tour on Saturday, it's a fucking red hot bit.
Yeah.
And also you have this culture here where comics will go out and they'll do a show, and then they can pull out notes in a show where audiences have paid money.
Yeah.
People would go fucking crazy. If you
Right.
did that in the UK, it would be like, sorry, mate, I've paid fucking money.
Yeah.
So how about you put them fucking notes back in your pocket
Yeah.
and you fucking ding along, all right?
Right.
Let's get this go. You know, we just, so it's almost like you're in a permanent state of becoming.
Yes.
And you sort of think, it must have been like George Carlin when he was playing all those venues to lead to the special. It was all to get to the special.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was a reverence to the special.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if audiences have. I think comics do, and we love putting them out.
Right.
But do you know what I mean? There isn't that same like, oh, there's a Carlin special.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
It's not the thing. There's also so many cities here. So it's like I always thought, like in England, there's only so many places you can really go.
Yeah.
Even through the whole, of UK, there's only where in America it's like you can easily just driving within 5 hours max, I can play an entire year of shows.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
So I think there's that. And yeah, I think, we have so much opportunity here specifically for comedy that I think some of us take it even for granted.
Yeah.
Where we're like, we don't, where I'm like, people have moved from Australia to New York City to be a part of this comedy scene. And I'm
Yeah.
only 5 train stops away. And I'm like, I'm not going in tonight.
Yeah.
When it's like, dude, are you kidding me? Your whole life is, you only got 10 more years and then you're gay.
The only, but the thing I find weird about it though is whenever I try and work stuff up, like it's such a fucking humbling experience.
Yeah.
Like I remember we just done the Albert Hall in the UK, and then I came here and I was doing like stand up New York and just a bunch of like nice little gigs, but it just felt like everyone in the audience was like, where you're from? You're from Australia. You're from... It didn't feel like they were... like it felt like there were lots of tourists.
Sure.
So it was just... It didn't feel like a fair read on whether this stuff would work in America.
When I did Top Secret, everybody felt like they were from England or like London in those few block radius of where the club was.
But that feels like how I imagine the Cellar is. It sort of feels like a locals gig.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Rather than... what? Stand-up comedy? Oh, I've heard that's a thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah. If they hear an accent going into the Comedy Cellar, they say, "Show's around the corner, asshole." They won't let you in.
Yeah.
Man. You could get in.
Yeah.
But because, obviously they're going to let you
I'm
in.
German.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But yeah. Dude, I told you it was going to be 45 minutes. How long have we been going?
1 hour and 2 minutes.
I'm really sorry that I've kept you.
It's all right. I really
and Pat
enjoyed
was
that.
late. Do you want us to do anything to Pat, who was late opening up the door? Because if it's your call, if you want us to literally, dude, if you want us to fire Pat, we'll do it. You want us to pants him. You want us to get a bunch of peanut butter and jelly and just rub it all over him?
Listen, I've had such a lovely experience that I respect Pat. And listen, Madison, who is doing my PR, said something wonderful. As you guys were all sat around going, "Fucking Pat, fucking prick, we can't go up there because Pat's got the key."
Yeah.
She said in such a dulcet tone, "He has the only key." And there was just this moment where all three of you looked at each other with that. She's kind of got a point. We should really have a plan B.
Yeah, we should have.
So for me, it feels like if there's to be any punishment, what Pat should do is go to a key cutters and get you all a key cut.
Yeah.
And it should come out of his own pocket. He should pay for those.
Yes.
And I would like them gold.
Smart.
Golden,
Yes.
I think that's fair.
Smart.
And if you want to make one of the keys really hot and just singe him, fine.
Yes.
But that's it.
That'd be
Nothing
fun.
above a singe.
Okay, got it. Nothing above a singe. Right here from Russell Howard. Where can people find you, see you, all that?
So I've got a new special out on the 15th of January, and it's going to be...
That's January 15th in the United States.
Sorry.
Yeah. Just so they
January
know.
15th, and it's going to be live streamed here at 8 o'clock, the UK at 8, Australia and Europe, and it's going to be a big...
Oh, it's live stream.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, man.
And where is that again?
So you can get it from my website, but it's through a company called Drift. But my
Nice.
website is russell/howard.co.uk.
It's amazing. Live stream. You're doing it live, baby.
Yeah, it was funny. The last two I did were Netflix specials, and I don't know. There's something it's quite exciting about doing it yourself.
I got to be honest with you, dude. Netflix is starting to become like there's too much stuff on it.
Yeah, well, that's it. It kind of
oversat-
gets lost a bit, and
Yeah.
you're like, and I remember the first one. The first one I did, I was really pleased with it, but I was quite fast. I was quite frenetic, and when you watch it back, and you're like, so
It's my life. Yeah.
The second one, I was just like, right, make sure you just pace it. You're in someone's living room. Don't fucking shout at them. And clearly, the first one got just a lot. It was watched a lot more than the second.
Yeah.
And it was a real window. You're like, okay, it's probably a better way of doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, good. Watch them live. Get yourself, have yourself a go with a business, Goose.